Hello friends, today we're going to be looking at my new song, Birthright, featuring Jplayin. So I've been doing this thing for a while where one of my friends gets married and I make a song about them. Usually it's just a lot of inside jokes, just a good chance to be silly and kind of a fun way to celebrate them. I don't do it for every friend that gets married, but certain people I just know exactly what the song's going to be, and so I just need to make it. For this particular friend, our inside joke was calling him the king. So when he got engaged, I knew this was going to be a song right off the bat. The beat I made this with was one of my favorite beats I've ever made, so I was happy to use it for a good cause. Let's dive into the track. Just got Ozone 9 mastering here, I'm just going to turn that off. Maybe I'll just turn the vocals off for a minute. So the main sauce of the track is this flute sample. And that sound came from the Haunted Keys Drill X Trap sample pack. I actually forgot about this, but I found that when I was looking at Halloween themed sample packs in another video. Got some fat trap drums here. Looks like it's mostly from the Black Gold sample pack. One of my hi-hats, I'm just doing some of that fun trappy stuff where you change the pitch. Yeah, nothing too crazy there. Just kind of some supplementary melody things. Then for the first chorus, I just have brass doubling that main flute part. That's kind of how I did this one. It was mostly just based around that melody from the sample pack, and everything I do was really circling around that, complementing it and building on it. It's a pretty short track, just over a minute and a half. So I just have two choruses. The second one I had additional layering of sounds and then also layering of vocals, which we'll get into. So we made the track for my friend Lewis, and this first verse and the chorus is by his best man, John Paul, aka Jplayin.
Step aside for the man with the breakdown. Many men take a knee for the great crown.
We actually recorded that in my parents' basement. That was kind of a good halfway point for us to meet. Considering we just tracked it in an open room, no sound treatment or anything, I think it turned out pretty good. So most of it is just two vocals, a lead vocal and a secondary vocal.
Step aside for the man with the breakdown.
Then I have a couple parts doubled here. Yeah, and that's really the meat of it. And then during the chorus, I got 4 vocals for John Paul going here. Then I have a couple of him shouting it. Here's it all together.
For the birthright, for the birthright.
So for my verse, I basically did what I did for John Paul. 2 main vocals going the whole time, and then 2 additional vocals with harder panning, complementing certain phrases. So much in common that he bahu with diamond. He's got pros and no cons. He's as Zion as Alphonse. For me and John Paul, we just love adding ad-libs, especially for a song like this that's not super serious. John Paul had some amazing ones, especially during the intro.
Now announcing His Majesty, Lord Lewis. Make way for the king!
Just classic. This is what it's all about. This is what I love to do when I'm making music. Just have fun. So for my verse, I just reference the anime and the nerdy things he's into, as well as the fact that he met his wife in musical theater. They were both in a production of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Great, love it. So second chorus, everything from the first, plus again, those additional brass and synth pads, as well as my own vocals shouting as well, just to give it more power for that last chorus.
From Prince to King, he slipped away in the dark night.
Yeah, and I'm pretty quiet in there, but it adds to the fullness of it. Yeah, and then I just kind of had a standard outro planned, but I tried looping just the shouting vocals into the outro, and I really liked it. So what I did after that is I just added some chunky electric guitar to kind of give it a little bit of maybe a little peep vibe, something like that. Just a couple presets from Guitar Rig 5, nothing too fancy going on there. Just tweaked them a little bit to make them different, and then they just panned left and right. And I played that with my Ibanez Geo, since that's my most metal guitar. Yeah, and then I kind of low passed the vocals a little bit. I really like that outro. It gives like a whole different feel to it. And it's interesting enough that you want to stick through to listen to it. It's not like the song's over after the final chorus. There's just a little bit more special sauce to go. Yeah, so that's it. That's a breakdown of our new track Birthright, a tribute to our friend Lord Lewis. I had a blast making this song, and while I was working on it, I realized that I hadn't released a rap song in a few years, which is crazy because I really like making raps and releasing them. I had done one that was another rap, and it was for another friend of mine that got married, but that was not released publicly, so I don't count that. This one, however, is public, so check it out. Well, thank you for making it to the end, and I'll see you next time. Peace.